Who was Karl Marx? Karl Marx was the creator of Marxism, which was one of the main theories that formed communism. Karl Marx was born on the 5th of May 1818 in Western Germany. His father was a successful Jewish lawyer. Marx studied law at Bonn and Berlin. In 1841, he was given a doctorate in the University of Jena. In 1843, he and his wife Jenny moved to Paris. There he became a revolutionary communist and met his lifelong collaborator Friedrich Engels. Then he was expelled from France, so spent 2 years in Brussels with Friedrich Engels. The two co-authored the Communist Manifesto, which was published in 1848. In 1848, Marx moved to London, where he lived the rest of his life. Marx then produced Das Kapital, the first volume of his Bible of the Working Class, was published in his life, but the rest were edited by Engels after Marx died. In his final years, Karl Marx was in physical and creative decline. He was distressed by the death of his wife and daughters. He died on the 14th of March, 1883, and was buried at Highgate Cemetery in London.
What did Karl Marx create? Karl Marx created Marxism. Marxism is a social system based on many economic and political theories. Karl's theories include that the proletariat have nots, lower classes are those in which do not have economic or political power. Karl Marx also paired up and shared his theories with Friedrich Engels. Karl Marx also claimed that the proletarians would eventually get tired of being treated so differently to the bourgeoisie, higher class people. Karl Marx's idea for Marxism quickly spread to Russia. By 1890, Russia brought attention to Karl Marx's theories.
What led Karl Marx to his theory? Marx joined the Communist League in 1845, where he began developing what was to be the beginning of Marxism. Marx completed the Communist Manifesto with the help of Friedrich Engels in 1848. The Communist Manifesto was a collection of other people's ideas consolidated into one. It stated that all are born free, but modern society had most people in chains. In 1848, Western Europe began to have a rush of revolutions. Marx decided to use the chaos that these revolutions caused to his advantage. He had his 10 points published in the newspaper Neue Rheinische Zeitung. His 10 points were the abolition of ownership and land, poor people paying less income, the abolition of inheritance, all property confiscated of immigrants and rebels, the centralization of all credit into the hands of the state by means of a national bank with state capital and exclusive economy, centralization of all means of communication and transport into the hands of the state, all factories and means of mass production owned by the state, the establishment of industrial and agricultural armies, the gradual abolition of the distinction between country and town, and the abolition of child labour and free education.
Is Karl Marx still relevant? He lived in the 19th century, an era very different from our own, if also one in which many of the features of today's society were beginning to make sense. A consideration of the relevance of Marx's ideas. Early 21st centuries might start with separating their outdated elements from them. It is capable of development in the present. Marxism has found great appeal as a political thought for several class-based revolutions and have been the relevant basis for the paragraph. However, government and rulers have interpreted the political writings of Marx in their own way. Many of the terms of these so-called Marxist states are often different, conflicting.
Orwell's book, Animal Farm, is a fictional form of Marxism. with all the animals forming a communism, using all of the ideas Marx used and finding flaws in them. The social skills the animals use tie in with Marxism, but greed slowly tears apart his theories. When the animals revolt, they decide to have no leader and share equally, creating what seems an ideal society. And Orwell writes about how this does not work and how Marxism has built a perfect dream.